Hello, welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another small fighter that's got a very rusted down and beaten up look to it, and this is simply called the Risk Eater. It does have another name that comes with it, but I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. But it's this thing over here. So this, like I said, is a very rusted down and beaten up looking ship. It features both hydrogen and ion thrusters. We've got two static gatling guns to blast your enemies with. We've got a searchlight on top that we can double as a 360 camera if we need to. And we also got a top mount camera at the very front to help precisely aim your guns and to get a good look at what's going on up ahead. We also have a fancy little reticle right here made out of a rusted neon tube, an unfinished neon tube, just peer straight through to get a general idea of where you're shooting. And we've got quite a few access panels spread about the ship to open up and to pretend you're doing some internal work on this ship. So coming down like so, we'll press F10, find its spawn menu, and once it finally loads, we'll go from there. So the Risk Eater is 152 small blocks using a couple of the DLC packs. We see up here a nice bit of lore about the ship, its general specifications, its PC block count and mass, and down to here there is survival friendly, uses no mods, no subgrids, and no scripts. We also see down to there its controls, and then at the very bottom, then got credits to the Skybox for the thumbnail, as well as the planet some of the screenshots were taken on. So giving this thing a thumbs up, move around towards the very front, have a quick look around the outside, go through the controls, fly around for a bit, and I believe that'll be that. So putting my light temporarily, this is what we get for the very front of the Risk Eater, and well, it's a grey steel block with some beam blocks to go across some iron thrusters to help move this thing around. Below the iron thrusters are hydrogen thrusters, are industrial hydrogen thrusters to help move you around in space and on a planet. Turning off my light and come around onto the side. There we go. We then see the side of our ion thrusters. Then see an armor panel just clamped onto the side of that. Over here we've got one of many access panels to open up to pretend we're doing work on the internals, but that's being attached onto a hydrogen tank for all of your hydrogen thrusters to last a nice long time. Along the top because of red and white armored panels just acting as little fins going all the way across this gatling gun, which has a conveyor cam on the end of that conveyor junction. And over here we've got another hydrogen thruster, but this time we've got a piston cap on one side, then over here is one of our square conveyors. On this side there's also going to be a square conveyor right there on the opposite side. So through to here, what we're going to have instead of a square conveyor is going to be a small battery. So there is that. And back to this side, looking at it like so. There we are. So on this back section, what we've got acting is like a small little fuel tank essentially, or even a thruster pod if you want to look at it like so, is a barrel, a bunch more of the red and white armored panels, this time in the very rusted skin. And at the back here, we've got some rounded beam blocks come all the way across in a circular pattern, just finish off the back of this all neatly. Moving towards the very back of this thing, here we go, so we've got two more ion thrusters, two more hydrogen thrusters, there's a beacon to make sure you can always find this, there's a gyroscope right on top, then all the way up to here, just sliding across, there's another conveyor cap sitting on the bottom of an ion thruster, with another hydrogen thruster facing straight up, which we can turn off separately from all the rest of the controls, just in case you are flying on a planet, and that one is completely redundant. Anyway, we've got two red interior lights right next to our cockpit to drive it around. Moving up more and looking down. There we go, it says barrel on the opposite side. All the way across there in front of our cockpit, we then got some more armor panels, as like a small canopy, keeping nice and protected. On the front of that section, across to here, we've got some barred windows, rusted barred windows, to give you an extra bit of protection and to add to that overall rusted down and beaten up look. Anyway, over there's an air vent sucking oxygen from the surrounding areas. There's your searchlight to twitter around. There's another access panel. There's your fake little reticle that we saw at the very start. Two more hydrogen tanks. Well, another hydrogen tank right there. There's one we saw on the side. Then towards the front there, there's your camera. And then there's a smaller access panel to open up. Moving down underneath this thing, putting on my light, here we go. So yes, there's our front hydrogen thrusters. There's another hydrogen tank right in the very middle. There's a connected dock hub, and that's in very poorly condition. Look at that, it's just pure rust. Anyway, more hydrogen thrusters, a manual plate to clamp this thing down on. Towards the back, there's the bottom of our barrels. Then over on this section, this is below your cockpit where we can grab hold my character all the way down, open it up, and reveal to us the bottom of the cockpit so we can store stuff inside if that's what we want to do. So we're going to move stuff inside, put the drill inside, close it up, and away you go. Character can go back up into there, back into the camera, and towards the very back, my light turned on once again. Another iron thruster, which is going to be right below that conveyor cap we saw at the very back, near those two red interior lights. And then, of course, our beacon at the very back of this thing. And with that, that's a very brief look around the outside of the Risk Eater, and it's bloody fantastic how it's all been set up. And once again, it can fly on the planet, any planet you want, or you can just go through space, so it's set up to do both. But now, grab hold of my character, bring up the HUD, in fact, first person view first of all, and I'm going to hide HUD once again. There we are. So this is what it's like when sitting in the cockpit. So we can clearly see our reticle at the front there, and of course a lot of our vision is going to be obscured by those rusted barred windows right in front of us. But that extra protection is going to be very good going head-on in combat, especially against standard vanilla drones. So they're going to be trying to target your cockpit straight away. Anyway, up and around. There we are. Down to here, we then got our target locked, a little aim reticle, power and hydrogen, and all the other top there is the time of day. Then bring up the HUD. Here we are with our controls, which is only going to be one tab, ignoring tab number 2, which is the wave animation I added myself. So number 1, number 2 is going for your thrusters around the ship to turn them on and off, and they're going to be a combination of controls, where you're going to be able to turn off the ones at the front, put yourself into cruise, and of course turn off that thruster right there, so when you're on the planet, you can save on a bit of hydrogen, because it's going to be completely redundant. So pressing number 2, that's going to turn that off, but also all the other thrusters around the ship, so you can see there, it's now completely off, well apart from those 2 on the left and right hand side. Turning it back on, pressing number 1, so we've got thrusters to the front there, so now we move forwards. There we are, we're only going to be slowed down by our ion thrusters. But now as I press number 2, with that turned off, now what's going to happen is, that top thruster is now turned off. At the back here, all of our thrusters will be turned off once again, apart from our left and right, and moving forwards, there we are. Then of course pressing number 1, turns off, number 2, and now everything goes back on. So it's a bit wibbly wobbly, takes a bit of time to get used to, but once you actually get used to it, it's not too bad. Anyway, number 3 is going for your top mount camera so you get a good view of what's going on all the way up ahead of you, so there is the planet right down there. And now that you've got batteries to auto or recharge, then you've got your hydrogen tanks to stop power on and off, your beacon on and off, and then your gatling guns to take over them, to fire them both together. There we go. And with that, that's it for the controls. Now flying this thing around, what you're going to see with this is that it's bloody speedy in pretty much all directions. It's perfectly balanced with the way the creators set this thing up, that it's just generally impressive. So moving forward with everything turned on, there we are, look at that. Doesn't take too long to get to 100 meters per second. It does have a nice bit of meat behind it, so it's not too zippy at the end of the day, and it certainly suits what you'd expect from a spaceship, but coming to a stop, it is identical. Moving left, and move right again, so very nice speed with that, despite only having one hydrogen thruster to move us left and right. Look at that go all the way up, then left again, come to a stop, jolly good stuff. Moving down, could be a little bit slower than left and right, but we only got one hydrogen thruster to do that, which is kind of odd that it feels slightly slower than left and right. But then letting go of that, it's going to be even faster because we have plenty of thrusters underneath here to lift us up, and of course to keep us off the ground while on the planet, so moving up. There we are, just a little bit slower than moving forwards and backwards, but a lot faster than left, right, and moving down. And of course gyroscope controls, moving this thing around, here we go. Plenty of control over this. It's not too overly responsive that a lot more fighters tend to go for. This ship's got, like I said, a nice bit of meat behind it, so when you start to move it around, as you saw right there, you move it, then pretty much stops instantly where you leave your reticle or leave your mouse or your controller. Do it again like so. There we are, there's no follow through, it's not too overly heavy, and well, it doesn't seem to spin around on a full 360 with a slight hit of the mouse. But as for that, that's pretty much it for the Risk Eater and all it has to offer. So I can think of one way to end this video. Instead of slamming into the ground, instead of slamming into an asteroid, I'm going to take it over to the good old Space Pirate headquarters, and well, let it get destroyed that way. So here we are once again. I really can't wait for them to add this stuff into Space Engineers 2. It's going to be so glorious with that destruction model. I still can't get over how well that works just straight off the bat. I was expecting it to be very buggy with a lot more crashes, but as you saw for that video I did when I previewed the update, or the Vertical Slice 1, there was only one crash when I was acting very silly, but when you be quite sensible and play normally, it just works absolutely flawlessly. But no, Space Engineers 1, here we go. Top mount camera, gatling guns are ready. And here we comes just scooting all the way across. We're going to go for the rocket launchers up there. Maybe I can destroy them in this video, and they'll be disabled for the next video. Here we come across. There goes the rocket launchers straight to the front. That was bad. I got ejected out of the seat. That was just an instant explosion. And well, there it comes down to the ground. It looks like we lost quite a lot of the front of that thing, and then just disintegrated as it hit the ground. But no, that's what I was expecting, and what I was hoping for to end this video. At the end of the day, it's a fantastic looking ship. I'm an absolute sucker for these types of rusted down looking ships. Oh, I don't know why that wasn't allowing me to copy that. There we go. Yes, I'm an absolute sucker for these types of designs. I absolutely love this rusted down look. And it's all thanks to Planet Pertam for basically giving an explosion to that type of design. But no, there'll be a link to it in the description below to download and play around yourself. Highly recommend you do, because it's a fantastic looking ship with a lot going on with it. And well, I can't wait to see this get imported into Space Engineers 2 when, well, most or if not all the blocks that support this thing get added to that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.